Okay, we're going to look at some of the harder trig questions in exercise C. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start you off on this, and then you can finish it up. I'll start it off in the video, and then I'll let you work out the answers, and then I'll put the answers up through a photograph. So 35, and firstly you're going to find the width. So you're just going to do your ordinary trig through this. So you wanting this, SOHCAHTOA, so it's sine. So sine, the angle, is opposite over hypotenuse. Bring this across in times. So it's 35 times sine 60, giving you W to be 30.3. Now, you then want the height. To find the height, I have to find this side. So what I would do for that one, you know this bottom is 30.3, you know this is 35. To get this here side, I'll just call it x. It's going to be Pythagoras. So x equals the square root of 35 squared minus 30.3 squared. So in your calculators, just put in 35 squared minus your answer button squared, and then square root that to give you an answer of 17.5. Now the height is your 17.5 plus 45. So it's 17.5 plus 45 to give you a height of 62.5 centimetres. Question 2. There are two triangles in question 2. So I would draw each of them out separately. The first one, this is A, B, 30 and 28. Doesn't matter which side you're going to find first. They want you to find side A, so we'll work with that. Hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent. They want you to find this one first. So using your SOHCAHTOA, it's sine the angle, which is 30, equals opposite over hypotenuse. So bring this across in times. So 28 times sine 30 gives you A to be 14. Again, to work out B, I'm just going to use Pythagoras theorem here. So this is 14, this is B, this is 28. I'm looking for a shorter side. So square them and subtract them, and then square root your answer. Now you can take the wee in-between steps if you want, or you can just do what I'm doing here and cut your work down, it doesn't matter. And then I've got to find C. Now C is the second triangle, so draw out the second triangle. You know what A is. A is 14 from up here. This is 42, and this is C. Hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. You know the adjacent and you want the opposite, so it's tan. So tan, your angle, is opposite over adjacent. Bring that across. 14 times tan 42 gives you C to be 12.6. Now part D wants the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. Now your base is B plus C. So if you find your B and your C, you have to add them two together. So 24.25 add 12.6. So it's 24.25 add 12.6. Your height is 14 and divide it by 2. So just working all that out in the calculator gives you an answer of 257.95 centimetres squared. Now I do want you to look at the online version, and we're going to work through question 3 here. The online version of your booklet. So, a ship sails in a bearing of 125 for 220. How far east has it travelled? So what it's asking you to do, it's wanting to know how far east you are from this initial start line. So we're looking for this distance x. If that's 125, this is a straight line. So 180 minus 125 is 55. So I would be inclined to draw out your triangle again and then take it from there. Hypotenuse is what you want, opposite. Sorry, hypotenuse is what you, opposite is what you want, and adjacent. So O and H. So sine 55 is opposite over hypotenuse. Bring this across in times. 220 times sine 55 equals x. So x is 220 times sine 55. X is 180. And then the question is asking you how far south you are. So here's your initial starting bit. How far south it's wanting the y. So I would do that through Pythagoras theorem. So you're looking for this side. So you've got 200, you know this is 180, and you want that distance. So it's one of the shorter sides. So you square them and subtract them, and then square root. So 220 squared minus 180 squared, and then square root your answer to give you y to be 126. And we're in kilometres. I'd like to have a go at number 5. First of all, I see there, it is an isosceles triangle. So this side is L, and this is L. If you split it down the middle, you get a right angled triangle. So if I split it down the middle, this is 15, and this distance is 0.6, and I want the length. So if you draw that out separately, 0.6, 15, and L, the question should be okay from here. Hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. You know this and you want this. So O and H is for sine. So sine the angle is opposite over hypotenuse. Bring your L over and multiply. So L equals 0.6 divided by sine 15. So L equals 0.6 divided by sine 15 to give you an answer of 2.32 meters. Question 7. I would like to work through as well. The bearing of A from B is 230, and that's marked on, and that is 20. How far is A south of B? So drawing out your wee diagram here. If that's 230, this bit is a straight line, so it's 180. So this angle in at B is 220 minus 180, so it's 50 degrees, and that's 20. And I want how far south, so you want this distance here, x. So there's your right angle, hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So circle what you know and what you want. O and A is for tan. So tan the angle is opposite over adjacent. So tan 50, opposite over x. X is in the bottom. So bring it up and it becomes multiply. You want x on its own. So if you bring that across, it becomes divide. So just in your calculators, 20 divided by tan 50 gives you 16.8 kilometres. Question 9, just working the whole way down, a little bit out of order, but it's just to give you a few questions out of this. We're not doing them all. Question 9. A rectangle has got length 10 and width 8. Calculate the size of the angle, or what the diagonal makes with the longer side. So I'm looking for that. You can see your wee triangle in there. This is x, this is going to be 8, and you're looking for A. Hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. O and A is with tan. So tan, the angle, is opposite over adjacent. So this time you're bringing just the tan over, so it's the one that comes over as an inverse. So in your calculator, shift tan 8 divided by 12 to give you 33.7 degrees. Now, we'll not worry about this side of the booklet, but I would like to have a go at question 11 and question 12. So we've got an isosceles triangle. So you've seen me deal with an isosceles triangle before. You split it down the middle. I'll call this angle A, that's 8, and my line's just going straight down the middle, so this is 6.5. Hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent, O and H. So sine the angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So you're looking for the angle. So A is inverse sine 6.5 over 8. So inverse sine 6.5 divided by 8 to give you an answer of 54.34 degrees. Now that's half. Remember, I've split that in half. So x is going to be double that. So 2 times that times 2 in your calculator gives you 108.7 degrees. And I would like to do question 12, just to finish it up. A ship sails for 200 miles from A, so there's A, put your north sign in, to B on a bearing of 80. So out here somewhere, and that's 80 degrees. We're going to B, and that's 200 miles. How far north and east of A is a ship when it reaches B? So there's the line that A is on. So first of all, I want how far north. I'm trying to find that side. So drawing that out, 200, that's going to be 10 degrees because it's a right angle, and X. Hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. Hypotenuse and opposite. O and H is for sine. So sine, the angle, is opposite over hypotenuse. Bring that across. 200 times sine 10 equals X. So X equals 200 times sine 10 to give you 34.7. And the question also wants how far north and east. So I would draw a triangle again. This is 34.7, this is 200, and you want to find this distance. So it's one of the shorter sides, so square them and subtract them. So it's y equals 200 squared minus my answer squared, press your equals button, square root your answer, and you should get 197 kilometers.